What's up, everybody? So today we're gonna be talking about deal finding, fear number 6. Now we can be talking about deal finding for months, right? For months. I mean, the reality of it is that real estate investing, we make the money on the buy, and it is different. That means different things, different criteria for different exit strategies, and um, nothing happens until a deal is found. I mean, we can talk about it all day long, but until a contract is signed with a quote unquote motivated seller at terms or at a price that makes sense as an investment, then nothing else falls into place. So this is by far the number one complaint or sticking point for aspiring real estate investors is finding a deal. So I'm going to cover today inbound, outbound, and how you can get your first deal with essentially no money out of pocket. Now, it's going to take energy, but it doesn't necessarily take money. Okay. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So, inbound and outbound. So, what you don't want to do is sit at your desk waiting for a super deal home run to hit your email box. Like, that is just not going to happen. Newsflash, sorry, broke it to you. I'm sure some guru sold you some BS like that, but that's just not going to happen. Or if it happens, it's very rare. But I'll tell you a story of how I wholesaled my neighbor's house. So the first house that I bought is a fixer-upper. I moved in with the bride, and I noticed that the house next door was vacant. And I reached out to the owners of record. They lived in the other side of town, and I sent them even a purchase and sales agreement signed and everything. It wasn't months till they happened to be coming by the house. And I said, hey, I'm the neighbor. I'm interested in purchasing the home. Are you interested in selling? And we just had a conversation and said, hey, I mean, if you want to rehab it, more power to you. But if you want a cash offer, I'm sure I can make it work. What would be the least you take for it? And we just negotiated. And funny enough, then I sold my house that I fixed to like a rich guy that was buying a bunch of houses in that same neighborhood. And I told them, hey, I contracted my neighbor's house. It needs a lot more work than mine. Do you want as well? And I wholesaled it for $25K. The easiest $25K I could have ever done. So that deal didn't quite fall in my lap, but deals are closer to you than you would think. I swear to God. So, okay, so let's talk about outbound and the whole, cold traffic channels, which I'm going to talk through our methodology to make them from cold to warm to hot. Okay. So outbound, you have the typical, first step is you get a list. Okay. That would be the first step. And then, you get motivated seller lists, which means is they have like, let's say tax liens. I love vacant houses. That's my favorite distress list for sure. Tax liens, vacant. You can do divorce, all sorts of liens, water shut off liens, stuff like that. But these lists are being targeted by almost everybody. Okay, like make no mistake about it. So what we do, or what I recommend you do, if you're gonna go outbound, you might as well do it right and do it as cost effectively as possible. Now, in today's world, the highest open rate, the quickest feedback, because we are digging through gold and we're digging for gold through dirt, is texting. That might change tomorrow, but that's the quickest way to get a no, because the more no's you get, the quicker and closer you get to a yes. Okay. So we build a list, we build a campaign where we do SMS. You want to go ahead and, do a nice soft opening with them. And then if somebody responds, you want to get them on the phone. Like get them on the phone, right? Get them on the phone. Now, at this stage, I have all this delegated. But, I'm just showing you the process. I want to go ahead and get the text out, get the no's out of the way. If somebody positively replies, we want to make sure that we call them, qualify them, and book them for a cash offer call. Or if you're doing all this yourself, you can go ahead and make the cash offer right then and there over the phone. And I'm not going to get into details around sales conversations here, but that is the process. Now, there's going to be numbers that just don't respond. So for the non-respondents, we went ahead and we want to cold call them. We want to go ahead and cold call them through a dialer. Okay, that's the most effective way, a multiple power dialer. Okay, and then if they don't respond to that, we may send them mailers. I'm not a huge fan of mailers, but when you're at scale, you still got to do it. So we would do then like a direct mail piece. Oh, you guys can't barely see this. Let me switch this up real quick. So that's the process: list, SMS, non responded to call. If it's legal, you can do RVMs, ringless voicemails. But what we're trying to get rid of is the no's as quick as possible. So you could do RVMs at this point as well. It's saving you tons. And then direct mail, okay? So that is essentially outbound, where you're targeting based on some sort of factual knowledge of the property. And a lot of it is going to be, dependent on your list. Now, we do have a free 7-day trial link for PropStream. If you run our email database, you should have the link. You can try it out for 7 days, see how you like it. The best sources, the best lists are the ones that are the most organic, meaning if you drive by a neighborhood or you do a zip code takeover, which I'm going to be talking about here in a second, those are going to be more exclusive lists or lists that you get directly from the courthouse. Now, if you're as lazy as me that doesn't like to get out of his office, then, just getting a reputable list source, downloaded, this would be the most cost-effective way to do outbound marketing. Now, inbound, this is what we call, what they call SEO. Let me change this up. SEO, like search engine optimization. Okay. PPC is still one. This is Google. These are the best, most laid down leads typically. The problem with SEO, it takes a special knowledge to actually get it done right. And we do touch on that on our program. And PPC, just like any digital type of campaign, it does cost money as well. So, if you have a budget and your market is not saturated, PPC is something to definitely look into, and that you can generate leads 24/7. Okay. These are more time consuming. Right here. These are less time consuming. You can add Facebook ads here, but what I will tell you is that typically Facebook ad leads, they're not as warm up yet as Google ones, because Google, you're having intentional searching. These leads are intentionally searching for that solution. Facebook ads or whatever comes up tomorrow, Instagram, TikTok, but typically our demographic is maybe on Facebook. They're a little bit on the colder side. It's interruptive marketing. So you're like just jumping out of the blue in their feed. But this is still inbound because they have raised their hand, inputted their information. So typically they're going to be nicer to talk to. And more qualified. These you have to qualify. There has to be a person at the other side of this that qualifies those people. Okay. We call them a qualifier. Okay. Because you want to make sure that you're qualifying them right to see if it's a cash offer or if it's a retail sale type of situation. Now, I often get asked, hey, Joel, like, what would you do if you had like zero money? But if you don't have any money, then you must have a lot of time, right? You must have a lot of time, because if not, then you just have a mindset issue, right? I mean, you can't be watching Netflix and expecting to be rich. So bottom line is, if you didn't have any money whatsoever, here's what I would do. And I call this the zip code takeover method. Okay. I would get 1,000. Okay, 1,000 sticky notes, red and green. Okay, I would pick a zip code. I would drive by that zip code in neighborhoods that are below the median price, looking for fixer-uppers, whatever that means in your market. And I would get off the car, Go knock on those fixer-upper houses. Leave them a sticky note saying, "Hey, look, I have a cash offer for you. Please give me a call." And then I would knock on the door on the 5 next houses around that house. And with that, and leave them a green sticky note saying, "Hey, I want to purchase so and so property. Okay, and please give me a call." And so what that's going to do is eventually you're going to have a nosy neighbor that wants that house fixed up because it's depreciating their value. Um, it's depreciating their time. And when you do that, if you have, if this is your house and, this is the sad house right here, and then you have pretty houses all around it, and you're targeting the whole block, so they know that, hey, there's somebody that is actually interested in purchasing this home. They're gonna be calling you. That phone's gonna ring. Then when you get back to your home, or wherever you get an internet connection, we got connection right now on cell phones. I would use True People Search, okay, based on the tax records, okay, and with that, I would call them, okay, I would call them, and if you do that for 30 days straight, okay, I'm sure you're gonna get a seller. I'm sure you're gonna get a seller calling you back, or a neighbor giving you a call back, so that you can actually present an offer and get a deal. The other piece is, at the same time, since you're going to be working those neighborhoods, get a car magnet sign that says "We Buy Houses." Get a "We Buy Houses." That's a car. It says "We Buy Houses," and with your name. I mean, if you need to get a loan, just get a loan. But Jesus Christ, I mean, that's as cheap as they come. Get a car, so when you're driving around, they know, hey, that guy buy houses. Let me write that number down. And so you're just doing a neighborhood takeover at that point. In addition to that, you should be calling any for rent by owner signs. Why? Because those for rent by owners signs, they may be a seller, they may be a buyer. Okay? And if you can get those for rent by owner signs, you can call them. They may be a seller, they may be a buyer. And the other piece is any HUD or Section 8, HUD Section 8 website. Folks that list homes for rent, landlords, those are your best buyers. So I've just given you the recipe to get a deal in the next 30 days with hustle. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of energy, but you have to do it. I mean, what's the alternative, right? So keep that in mind. So deal finding, that's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. We are literally going through dirt, digging for gold. So I hope you enjoy this. We just got rid of deal finding number 6, fear. I hope you enjoy this. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Take care.